Hi, my name's Andy. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'll be showing you my folding touring bike setup, including all my gear. I'll unpack it, set it all up and show you everything that I use on a bike tour, and then I'll show you how it packs down on the bike again. Let's get started. The first place to start is how I attach everything to the bike. I use tire rubber to attach everything onto the bicycle. From my water bottle to all my bags, it's all attached with tire rubber. That holds on my backpack. It's just a small backpack, and that's got all my personal gear like clothes, power banks, maps, books and pens, and everything that I would call personal gear. That's about 4 kilos there. And this bag here is actually a fabric shopping bag just from the grocery store. They're about $1. They're super strong, and that holds about 3.5 kilos. And when they get worn out, I just replace them with another grocery store bag. It's black and it looks pretty tidy, and it does a really good job. I put my sleeping bag here, I just jam it in there, and that just holds on without even being tied on. That's usually the way I do it with my jandals or flip-flops. Very important, these, to get your feet out of the boots. If you're traveling, just really look after your feet, try and air them out as much as possible. And also I wear them in the showers at campsites, just, you know, so that you don't get athlete's foot or what have you. Very useful. It's a 2-season sleeping bag. It's very light. I just went with the lightest one that I could get. It is not down. It's just a nylon sleeping bag. It's not very expensive. This rubber is super useful. It's really strong, and when it wears out you can easily just get some more for free. Sleeping roll mat, a very cheap one, €6 from Decathlon, and it does help keep you warm and keep you off the ground. Especially if you're staying at campsites, you will find that the ground is super compacted, and even if you do have an inflatable mat, it's a good idea to have one of these as well, just for extra comfort. Tent, that weighs about 3 kilos, but also what I've got in there so the reason that I carry a half a tarpaulin like this and this size is you can use that as a ground sheet underneath the tent. You can sit on it when you have a picnic. You can lie on it and sleep on it if you're going wild camping or what have you, and you decide not to put the tent up for whatever reason. Very useful. You can also put it over you and create a shelter. The number one reason that I carry the tarpaulin is that when I'm traveling on an aircraft, I can take the bicycle apart, pack it in the tarp with all my other gear, and then wrap it up with packaging tape, and that's my luggage allowance for international flights. If you want to see more of that, you can check out my other video up here where I have a comprehensive look at how to pack a folding bike for air travel. The other thing that I've got in the bundle with the tent is an airline blanket. It's just a normal fleece, polar fleece airline blanket. If you're heading to any cold climates and you are on an aircraft, they probably will give you one of these, and you can just take it with you. A little bit of extra comfort if you need it. So that's my tent. It cost me $5 secondhand about 5 years ago, and it's still going strong. Alright, now I'll show you the contents of this bag. So this is the bag that's usually on the front of my bicycle, and most of the stuff in here is for cooking, but you'll see it's got various other useful things in there as well. A warm polar fleece jacket. It's pretty light, and at the moment it's pretty hot, so I don't need to wear this, but I still carry it because you never know, it could get really cold. An airline pillow to go with the airline blanket. I never took a pillow with me before on a cycle tour. However, when we flew on the airline, they gave us one of these, and I thought, well, that is pretty comfortable and it packs down quite small. And if I don't need it, if I feel like I'm carrying around too much stuff, it'll be the first thing to get thrown away. Well, guess what? 2,000 kilometers later, 2 months later on the road, I still have my very comfortable airline pillow. Take the pillow from the airline as well as the blanket. You'll be glad you did. Here is my sleeping mat. It's a climate sleeping mat that packs down pretty small. It weighs about 800 or 900 grams. And this has been going strong for over a year now. I thought for sure it would wear out and get a hole in it, but it hasn't. It's actually really, really good. So there's my sleeping setup. Perfectly practical and simple and inexpensive. The next thing is my towel. It's a very small towel, but it's very absorbent. The trick is when buying a towel for traveling, I tend to buy the most expensive hand towel because it's made of 100% cotton and also it's small. So for about $5 you can get a very good quality hand towel that packs down extremely small, and it's much nicer to use than a travel towel made of microfiber. The other things I got in here are cooking things. So there's 2 cups. These are unbreakable steel. This is the stove that I like to use. It folds down pretty small. You could even fit that in your pocket. And I like to fit it inside the cup to maximize space. Also had a jar of pesto in that cup. And it takes these kind of cartridges that you can pretty much buy them anywhere. These ones are from Decathlon here in Europe, and they're about €5. It lasts us about a week, 5 days or so. If you don't cook too much macaroni, it lasts for longer. Boiling pasta, you use a lot more gas, so there you go, that's the stove. The other stuff that I bring for kitchen stuff: a couple of forks, a knife with an end that's not sharp. That's really important. So a serrated knife with a blunt end, because then it won't stab through your bag. Very useful. Salad dressing, coffee. We've now got some 3-in-1 chain oil. So yeah, that's good stuff. I don't usually carry this, but the bike's just got so worked over that we needed to use it. In here we have all kinds of spare parts and bits and pieces. Got a pair of scissors, some tape, and then there's various spare parts for the bikes. You can take whatever you like when it comes to that. Obviously, like a puncture repair kit is a good idea, but then there's just various nuts and bolts and stuff there. Oh, and a can opener and bottle opener. And this one has a wine opener on it, which is pretty useful if you're going to be in France. A piece of rope that could be useful for a washing line or some such thing. We do use this to tie the tent down and peg it down if it's really windy. And then I've got an extra one of those shopping bags, a raincoat for the front pack if it rains, stops everything getting wet. It's pretty useful, and also it's like fluoro, so if you need to be seen, it's kind of good. And the rest of the stuff in here is really just junk, like it's actual rubbish. And I think there's a pair of earplugs in there as well. The only things I haven't shown you so far have been the big chain lock that I have. That's super useful. You should always carry the best lock that you can afford, especially if you're traveling through places that have high bike theft, which is pretty much anywhere in the world. And then I've got on the front here a set of wet weather gear, jacket and pants. Of course, if it rains, you still got to go out there in the rain. Making some macaroni for dinner. We used our cooking pot and cooking set, which has held up pretty well. If you would like to see the rest of the gear that we use, it gets carried on Mel's bike, so you'll have to stay tuned for the next video that'll show all of Mel's bike unpacked and all the gear that she carries.